Hello everyone, Eric Watson here. Welcome to Chat for the Lost Plane, our weekly live streamed post-session discussion where we talk about what just happened during D&D. This is the chat for session 26. If you haven't watched that session yet, please go do that now because we'll be talking about spoilers. DM Chris is here.
Hello.
Player Raymond mooting in the darkness.
I think I see there's a baby in there too,
yes,
right?
He's had the baby for the last half, I think. Adorably sleeping on his body. So yeah, we the first half of this was just trying to get us to the climactic setup you had.
Yep. So yeah, it's the travel, level up travel stuff that always takes a little bit of time.
Did you Raymond, as almost a random thing, stole that whistle last week, I think, or week before, or at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Travel on it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Did you anticipate him using that? And what was your plan before, or did you have a plan before you even had it?
You guys, so the plan was you guys could travel however you wanted. I did know that. I remember that Kethra had stolen the whistle, and I was like, well, this is what she stole the whistle for.
Yeah. Was
to travel over water. So I was like 80% sure in my head that you guys would use the whistle to get across the sea. But I mean, the only other real option would be like you guys pull out your folding boat and row across the sea, and it would take you twice as long. I don't know why you would have done that. Or at one point, I think you, Raymond, asked me like, well, "What if we just walk?" I was like, I didn't think you guys would walk, but I started looking at the map. Like, I guess you could technically like walk around the sea. It would taking you 3 times as long. It took you about 3 days to go like the whole way. So I was pretty sure you guys were going to use the turtle. Yeah.
Either way, you could just montage it and just if it's there, it's just more like as a character. How do we do it? Do we suffer or just ride a turtle?
That's right. Yep. And I thought about. The problem is. So this is a similar problem we've talked about before many times about traveling and encounters while you're traveling. Like if you do damage to people while they're traveling, it doesn't fucking matter because they're just going to rest up that night. So I thought about like if they were on foot or in their boat, like, okay, well, the effects of seeing the planar breakdown around them might do some damage, or they might have to like roll some checks or something. But the more I thought about that, I was like, but it doesn't matter. They're just gonna rest, they're just gonna long rest like, a few minutes later, and it has no real consequence.
Yeah, that's true.
So I was like, all right, it's just description. I'm not gonna waste time with like having people roll things and take damage. I'm just gonna have like describe it to people.
And it's just fun to ride a turtle that I stole.
That's right. Sometimes it's just fun to ride a turtle.
Sometimes it is fun to ride a turtle.
To have a giant turtle at your beck and call.
So the Spire was just a social scene, basically, to tell us, here's what you're doing next.
It was to tell you, here's what you're doing next, and it was also sort of to introduce you to, like, reintroduce you to everyone that you've seen in the campaign thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, here's what happened to the Slots after you saved them. Okay, here's what happened to the Islanders after you saved them.
That's true, yeah.
So it was sort of you guys already knew that everyone was headed to the Spire. You already knew that Fiog was going to go talk to the Slot and try to get them to help. You already knew that Thixia had gone out to try to, get some help and scout. You knew that the Islanders were headed to the Spire. So it was sort of a just catch up, like, it's almost, what video game was it? Was it one of the Pillars of Eternity games?
I mean, a lot of RPGs
a lot of games had that like home-based idea, but the Pillars of Eternity specifically is what I was thinking of. Where like you talk to people out in the world, and then they're in your base when you go back to your base.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. It works well, and it connects you more to like here's the events you happen, and they were meaningful because now you've got all these allies.
That's right. Yeah, and in this case, the Slod, which actually I can say this, and it's kind of appropriate that Tim got that magic item, even though Tim got 2 magic items this session. Caitlin, you gotta start fucking grabbing. You gotta start grabbing magic items, man. You're so like you're never there for them somehow.
Yeah.
I think you've gotten 1 this entire game.
The crossbow, yeah.
The crossbow, yeah.
Scarlet also only has the sword.
The sword, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is kind of appropriate that Tim got that magic item because that magic item is specifically designed from something that Reese said at the very beginning, like session 0 of things that he liked, was risk versus reward items.
Yeah.
Things that carry a risk to using.
I think a lot of players like that stuff, and it's really
yeah.
I'll be incorporating a, without spoilers, something along those lines for my campaign.
Yeah. So it's like, yes, this is totally just completely made up item. I was like, all right, you can give anyone advantage in an attack roll anytime you want, but that person has to roll the Twisted Caverns table after you do.
That's extra messed up because they don't have a choice in that matter. Like, you're just bestowing this curse
Tim
on
can do
them.
it to someone. Yes.
I remember
absolutely.
at some point months ago, we talked about when we were in that dungeon about how, because we were pretty cavalier about the spells at one point. So we're like, oh, it's just going to be like funny things that are happening.
Right.
And then you're like, no, there's some bad shit that can happen.
There's some bad shit.
Yeah, like you could be paralyzed, or you could have like a spell explode on you, or all these other things that we just never ended up rolling.
Yeah. The worst one, which I think we covered in one of the after sessions, the absolute worst one out of all, like 40 of them.
Or something?
No, the worst one is a clone of you is generated whose only purpose is to kill you.
Oh my god, that's awful. At that level, like, holy shit. What do you actually like take control of like a character sheet?
It's a new token with that's you with all your abilities. Yeah.
Now, what if Tim starts casting out enemies?
He could. He absolutely could. He would have to grant them advantage on an attack roll.
Oh, interesting.
But he could totally do that. I mean, the bad to good, I think the best one, I think if I remember the table correctly, there's like 35 of them.
Wow.
So your odds of getting that super bad one are not high. It's like 1 in 35. But the best one is like you heal for 70 or something. It's like you heal for a bunch of damage. And the worst one is a clone of you is generated. It's intent on killing you.
That's insane.
And then some are harmless, like glitter spitting out of
your
mouth.
Some of them
that was
glitter.
the most of the ones we got, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot in the middle. And I would say like probably the middle 15 are like relatively harmless.
Yeah.
Like you can only speak in frog for the next hour. You know, shit like that. That's like, it might have kind of an effect. Like you can't do social encounters, but it's relatively harmless. So, yeah. I mean, I would say you keep that in mind, but Reese has got it, so Reese can do whatever the fuck he wants with it now.
Yeah, like you can just instantly teleport us to this next encounter. Like you've gotten it. We're in that late stage now. We're like, all right, you're just getting to this next area.
That's right. And honestly, that was kind of a narrative thing in my head where like we're at that point, but I couldn't find a way to narratively make it work while you guys were at the Undermanor. Of like, well, how would Rykresh know how to teleport them?
Like all of a sudden, they didn't have to.
All of a sudden, yeah. So instead, I was like, all right, this will also give me an opportunity to show them the planar breakdown, like the things like actually the bad shit happening because these two are messing with planar combination spells or whatever. So I was like, all right, they're gonna travel. And while they're through the 3 days, while they're traveling, that's when Rykresh will level their travel abilities up to, hey, I can teleport you wherever you need to go.
Yeah, the only thing I think I would have done is you find just a MacGuffin magic item that does that basically, and just like, we found this in the Undermanor. Now we can all teleport to the spire, and we use this to all teleport to the thing.
Right.
And it's like, all right, well at least we recovered like this artifact.
Yeah.
Instead, we recovered the ability for Rykresh to level up.
That's right. Rykresh is leveling up for you. That's
DM
what's
powers.
happening. Yep.
Now, was that Ring of Invisibility planned, or was it a generous gift?
It was planned, but it was a little bit of a generous gift. It was, and it wasn't even necessarily planned for you. It was. So I think I said this last week, but it was my. This is not mechanical at all, but my litmus for you getting the ring was you reading all the nasty letters that the creator and Marina wrote to each other. If you got through them all, then I was like, all right, at the end of it, after they read like all the, the love letters and the raunchy letters about them describing all the stuff they're doing, the last one will be like they're describing stuff they do while she's invisible. And attached to that is a ring of invisibility. So, Catherine, just keep in mind what you're holding is a sex toy.
Wow. Where does this ring of invisibility supposed to go?
But that's what Kethra did. That's what you did. You read all the letters. I think if you remember correctly, I think you when you got to that last letter, you like said like I dropped the letter.
Right.
Mhm.
So I was like, well,
And it had the ring in there,
was
I think.
attached to the letter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
The very land got nasty.
That's a really funny way to give a magic item out.
So it could have been anybody. But when you picked it up, in the week between when you picked it up and this week, I was like, that's a Kethra magic item right there. That's like a auto assassinate button as far as
Yeah, because I did complain last week that this campaign makes it hard.
right.
Yeah.
So that was kind of and that even when you said that, the ring of invisibility was already in place. So it was not it wasn't necessarily me answering your concerns, but it kind of did. So I'm glad it did.
Yeah, it's just at that time we didn't know what it was, so you could have had time to change it.
That's true. You could have changed
true.
it. Yeah,
I could have. Yeah.
So just curious, but it sounds like you already planned it that way.
No,
So
it was. In fact, of all the magic items you guys have picked up, 80% of them have been just me making shit up because I enjoy that.
Yeah.
The ring of invisibility is straight out of the player's handbook. That is a straight ahead. That is an item in 5e.
Dungeon Master's Guide, you mean?
Yes, Dungeon Master's Guide. Yes.
Good items in there. Or at least, and also good ideas for items too. You can you can look at those, extrapolate, and make a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't believe I didn't expect to be an actual battle map with tokens for this giant cinematic, huge war you were setting up.
Hey, you guys, I did it to you guys. As I was doing it, I was like, okay, this is stupid. Me putting all these tokens on the board and me inviting them to attack a fucking army of 40 goddamn fiends is stupid. But I remembered, I did it already once in Storm King's Thunder. You guys attacked a giant army that was attacking some farming village.
That's true.
It was like giants and goblins and I forget what else.
Ogres, I think, were like
ogres. Yeah. So we've done something kind of like that once before, but I was like, I trust they're not gonna get.
That was so funny. Where you're just like, you guys. Here's the thing, though. If you put a battle map,
know that if I say roll initiative, that is the next 8 hours of this campaign.
That's true.
Is running through. Okay, here's what the Baelor does. Here's what the Bone Devils do. Here's what the Horn Devils do.
Definitely a fight we're not supposed to have. But I like the way you did it with you had the setup there, but you didn't put us in combat. But we still had to. You still took turn. I probably would have went ahead and had people roll initiative just to keep it like, okay, now what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Because that just engages people. But yeah, I thought it worked really well that we were not in a necessarily a standard combat fight there, but still like
So what this, as weird as it sounds, what this has more in common with than anything else is that one bit where you guys were in that ballroom back in Storm King's Thunder. If I don't remember that, you were in like a party, and you each had your own little mini events going on. And I was like just jumping from person to person, like, all right, what are you doing over here? Okay, what are you doing over here? This honestly had a little bit more in common with that.
Yeah,
because I was just in my head going like, all right, Scarlet's.
And check in with you, and you check in with you.
Checking with you, checking with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you handling
that
things?
approach is fun because the reason combat works so well in D&D is because everybody gets a turn, everybody's engaged.
Yes.
Whereas every other aspect of the game, you feel like you have to pull certain people are going to engage with it, but unless they're directly happen to be, involved in something, they can easily just sit back and not do anything. Whereas if you put people in an actual initiative or turn-based mode and at least engage with them, then you turn all of which this was not combat, but it was like I don't know what you would call this, an event or
set piece.
Yeah. And it becomes engaging for everybody.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Which I was fully prepared. I will say I was fully prepared for this to take no time at all or a lot of time.
Because you don't know. I like also that at this level of play, you're like, I don't know how the players are going to get past this. Yes. It's just up to them. I don't have any.
Yeah.
You just gave us a problem and like, good luck getting the solution together.
That's right. Exactly. So for all I knew, at some point you floated, and this is because this is what I thought when I was building this map, you floated past that trace. I was like, all right, if they choose to just sort of really just go around the whole fucking thing and try to like just stealth their way through.
Yeah.
They could do that, and this whole situation probably wouldn't take very long. It'd be kind of boring, but it wouldn't take very long.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that you guys engaged with it a little bit more than that, and were like, oh no, I actually want to kill some demons on my way over.
Yeah.
Like Scarlet struggling with herself, like I
Yeah.
got my way through, but I really want to fight him. Tim, like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the army to need it, and then I'm gonna heal him.
Mm-hmm.
All that was really good engagement that you guys didn't necessarily need to do, but it was very much appreciated.
But you gave us a really cool scenario that we're like, we really want to like engage with this as much as we can before we leave. Yeah, which that was tricky because we had to have all these different plates spinning about what people are doing and how they're getting through it.
Yeah. And a lot of that was just sort of like on the fly, like for Kethra moving through the battlefield invisible. I was like, how do I make that? I was like, okay, who's got, I was like clicking through my monsters.
AoE stuff.
I was like, who's got AoE stuff
Yep.
that she can like stumble into?
Yeah.
I was like, Hellhound does, but it's shit. It's like a DC 12 for like 20 damage.
Mm.
Kethra's gonna avoid all of that. It's not gonna do anything to her. So I think I had her just get hit. What was it? Some random fireballs that just.
Yeah.
Somebody's attack, yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean,
Yes,
random fireballs flying around.
Yeah.
Not
exactly.
targeting anybody.
So I think that encounter in general went honestly better than I expected it to.
Yeah.
Because you guys really did engage, and you guys were really like role playing each aspect that you were doing as you were moving through the.
There's a good balance
battlefield.
between it didn't take too long because we didn't stop and like try to literally like brute force it, but we also didn't just skip past it because you had this really cool set piece. Yeah, we're just like, we're gonna skip past this and get in the door and go away.
Yeah. Which
But that was a cool looking map, and like, I mean, all the shit you put on there, that was really impressive.
I dragged all the tokens onto the map.
As chat pointed out, I'm surprised the Roll20 didn't come to a fucking stop with that. But the map's pretty tiny.
What I've discovered is that the Roll20 doesn't give a shit about the number of tokens. It gives a shit about the map. The actual like square by square map.
Yeah.
That's
such a crazy looking.
I've got character sheets for all of these creatures, but I was not prepared to like roll initiative for all of the creatures on this map. I was not prepared.
I'm pretty sure we understood that, and we were all trying to get around, but yeah, trying to engage with it as much as we could.
Yep. What I was prepared for is if you guys had like attacked the Baelor, tried to separate him somehow. Like, okay, the Baelor's like, if they really want to get in, maybe they could separate him from the rest. Maybe if they really try. But I like the way that played out. Where you're like, we're just kind of like running past him, and he was trying to whip you, and you just missy stepped. So that was good.
Yeah. Then we made it inside.
You made it inside.
Your fucking lava dungeon.
My lava dungeon. It's demons, baby. It's what demons do.
Boy, this feels. I don't know what's coming after this, because this feels like the end game right here, with a huge demon army and then infiltrating the gate they're coming from. Like, this all feels like this is the finale.
Mm-hmm. It is probably the like big like combat or like I guess I don't know how to describe it. Martial climax to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because you are like engaging like fully the full force of the fiend army that's been invading the plane.
Did we just come in the front door? Is this the?
Yes, I think I described because I didn't really have a map for like an entryway from that initial gate, so I kind of just described like, oh, there's a giant entry hall, but at the back of that hall, there's a hallway that continues on farther, and that's where this map starts.
Okay. Full of lava, traps, and magic and awfulness.
You know, you said it at the end, and that's absolutely true. How do you build a dungeon for level 18 characters? Fucking 10d10 lava, baby. That's how you do it.
Yeah, lava everywhere. And no joke.
Yep.
Have we had a big dungeon crawl?
Depends on how you define it, because I mean, yeah, traps and not in a while. I mean, you had before this, so you guys have gone from
'Cause I don't think anything on
here.
Summit Island was considered a dungeon crawl. So it must have been the Twisted Caverns.
Yeah, it was Twisted Caverns before this. Yeah. Yep.
And that one felt
mean, 'cause
more like almost more social encounters than combat fights
Yeah,
where we did
there
it.
was more. Yeah, for sure.
Still making it to the boss.
Yep.
This one feels already like a dungeon with the lava
This
everywhere
one-
and the
yeah.
traps and the shit.
And it's kind of intentional. This one's supposed to feel like hey, the
like
map's
a-
out to kill you. Type
It's like a
dungeon.
Mario Brothers castle or something.
Right. Yes. Exactly. Like the Mario Brothers castle. That's yeah. Yeah, because the initial trap was just, and once again, I'm at the point now. You guys are fucking level 18. I'm not thinking about how you guys are solving problems.
You're
I'm just
throwing
presenting problems.
Yeah. Yeah, you almost can't. It's because at some point when you're at a certain level, you start thinking about all what your players' abilities are and like, okay, I can do this, but then they can do this to easily like solve that. So I need to be able to like you can try to like prep a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but at this level, there's no way. This is like they have so many tools.
There's so many tools, and I'm giving them more tools, so it's not even
like here. It's like we just turn on this anti-magic field and waltz through
That's right.
the thing, but we don't have an anti-lava field.
That's right. Yep. And I'm not gonna give you guys a solution. Like you guys figure it out.
Or
Either
get
you,
melted.
maybe you guys just run through the lava and take the lava damage. That's an option.
My fire resist is going to come in very handy, and I can use absorb elements. I think to take out.
I don't want to tell you what the actual. Oh man, I kind of want to tell you. I'm going to tell you just because it's really it's kind of fun. Because I'm pretty sure you guys are going to do your best to avoid it. You guys know that those skulls are trapped, and you got the anti-magic field.
Oh, you want to go over what those are?
Yeah, those skulls, which you're not, Galen. Which I actually, I'm going to tell you, but you guys can't play like you know.
If you want to wait till next week,
I do want to tell you. Those skulls, the divination magic on their eyes sees anyone that's of good alignment. What they release is a very, very potent poison that makes you vulnerable to fire damage.
Oh man, that sucks. That's devilish, all right.
Unless you're good.
No, if you're good. If anyone good walks between the skulls, they emit a poison that makes everyone in the area gets.
I was gonna say I'm not good aligned, but they'd probably get nuked by somebody next to me.
Yeah.
Is anybody good?
Scarlet, I'm sure Scarlet's good, and
Scarlet's
Gillian?
good. Gillian is good. Yep. Tim is neutral. I was surprised to
my
learn.
character's neutral, also apparently.
Yeah.
This late in the game, our alignment finally comes into play.
Yeah, exactly. Alignment such like doesn't matter for
Yeah,
most of
They
everything.
really took that away in 5e, which I'm generally in favor of.
But I appreciate that you guys identified like, okay, these skulls are trapped. Literally, we're not gonna walk in here until we.
That is classic trap maneuver right there. A hallway with things, a hallway with any things that are the same that are facing each other is a fucking trap. If there's statues or if there's skulls or they're portraits or whatever's going on.
Yep.
I didn't know what the trap was, but I'm like, I don't want to deal with it.
Exactly.
That was clever though, saying that like you could dispel magic, but each one of these is a fucking separate one.
That's right.
Yeah, I think we'll use this method.
So you guys played it smart. Like that was supposed to be a trap. It's like if they can the trap was designed to where like, all right, you guys can see this is bad news.
Yeah.
Like there's skulls facing, like you said, skulls facing each other.
It's always
there's
bad
no
news.
way that's not bad news. If you guys choose to go in here anyway, it would have been only Scarlet and Gillian that activated it, but anyone in the area would have gotten hit.
Yeah.
It's real bad because you guys had advance notice. It's not like I'm springing something on you unaware.
Yeah.
Like I warned you. I showed you the skulls.
Yeah. I remember you were trying to like hint about the bubbling pools at the end. I was like, okay, that's descriptive. And then all of a sudden you're like, and those pools rise up and become a thing. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yep.
And I like the way that you telegraphed. It's like, yep, that's gonna come rolling again.
That's right. Yeah. So I like your analogy. It's pretty close. Is that this is the end of a Mario level?
Yeah.
Like lava things
Yeah,
flying
it's just,
around.
the lava bolts just flying across the screen ever so often. I just looked up. I thought I could cast Fire Shield on somebody, but it's only a self target. I actually took Fire Shield, but only workable on myself.
Tim had an idea at the very end that he was gonna do. Yeah, water. And Gillian's got a lot of water stuff, so maybe that'll be helpful to you guys next time. But once again, you guys are all in your anti-magic field, so.
Yeah, we're not. I don't think we'll be able to do it for this one because you can't. They're literally line all the way, so I think we're just gonna have to take the damage for this one. But I can use Styx's ass to like scout around, at least see what's the best path to take.
That's
I looked
true.
at him specifically. I was like, oh shit, he's straight up immune to fire.
I didn't realize he was immune to fire. I thought, yeah.
He's a lot of demons are straight up immune to fire. As my Hellfire crossbow has discovered.
Yes. A lot of demons are, which is kind of the idea of the dungeon, is that like, okay, how would a demon army devise security measures? Well, they just put fucking lava everywhere.
Just put fire and lava everywhere, yep. Pretty smart.
Yeah, so we'll see how you guys solve the problem, or maybe you just want to take 10d10 damage against a group.
Yeah, I think this first one we're gonna have to take it because we can't use magic.
Yeah,
it's gonna really suck on everybody. But that's a good way to soften us up. I mean, and then for the future ones, maybe we can do some kind of water shenanigans. But
yeah,
that's gonna be nuts.
Yep. I look forward to seeing how you guys solve the problem.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing just a death dungeon, which we haven't done yet.
Yeah, that's very true. Lava Green Door. Yeah.
Cool. Did we make it about as far as you wanted us to?
Sure. Yeah. Maybe not quite as far, because you guys, like I said, you guys did engage with the army bit quite a bit, and I enjoyed that, so I'm glad you did it. But just about. Yeah. Once again, we're kind of in fast forward mode now, these last levels, so each of these like dungeons is probably only going to be about 2 or 3 sessions.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys made it just about. That's yeah, exactly.
Well, all right. I think that will do it for the chat for the Lost Plane.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you to DM Chris, player Raymond. I am Eric. Thank you to all the fans for watching. We'll see you all next week.
See you then.
Bye.